In this chapter, we shall look at Program Temporary Fixes, or PTFs as they are more popularly called. We will also see how to identify problems on the system and how to analyze and report problems to IBM. All licensed programs are put through extensive testing before they are made available to the users. However, some problems are discovered only later on. Whenever a problem is detected, IBM creates a Program Temporary Fix, or PTF, to correct the problem temporarily. The final solution to the problem is normally included in a new release of the product. After receiving a PTF, one has to load and apply it to the system. There are two approaches for maintaining licensed program on the AS400: Preventive Service and Corrective Service. Preventive Service is implemented through cumulative PTF packages and Preventive Service Planning, or PSP information. A cumulative PTF package consists of the PTFs that affect the most system users that have been created since the last release of the licensed program. The cumulative PTF package should be installed after you load the current release of your system. Preventive Service Planning information is available between releases of cumulative PTF packages and contains a list of PTFs available since the last cumulative package was available. Even after installing the latest available PTFs, you might still have a problem that requires immediate action. In such situations, we use Corrective Service. We can describe the problem using the Analyze Problem or Work with Problem command. The problem can then be reported to IBM electronically or by calling the IBM Service Support representative. IBM will then send you a PTF which might already exist, or they may create one just for you. The PTF can either be downloaded if you have an electronic support line, or it will be sent on CD-ROM or tape through the mail. Each PTF comes with a covering letter that contains information about the PTF. You have the PTF or fix number, the licensed program code, the system name, the models for which particular PTF is valid, the version, release and modification level of the system for which the PTF is valid, the number of the Authorized Program Analysis Report, or APAR, for which this PTF was created, etc., the description of the problem that this PTF fixes, etc. PTFs can be installed either automatically or manually. To install a PTF manually, first use the load PTF command to load PTF to the appropriate library. Now you have both the old version of the object as well as the new version present in the library. Once the PTF has been loaded, it can be applied temporarily using the Apply PTF command. This causes the new object to be flagged so that it is used instead of the old object. If the temporarily applied PTFs fixes your problem successfully, you can apply the PTF permanently. Otherwise, it can be removed. Once the PTF is applied permanently, it cannot be removed. PTFs can be installed automatically using the Go PTF menu. Loading and apply of the PTFs is performed as a part of the install process. Let us now see how to handle PTFs associated with the licensed internal code. There are always two copies of the licensed internal code on the system. One of them is stored on the storage area A and is the permanent copy, while the other copy is stored on the storage area B and is considered the temporary copy. Whenever the system is running, it uses the copy that was selected prior to the last IPL. Normally, the B side is always selected. The PTFs have to be loaded and applied to the licensed internal code. This has to be done on the storage area that is currently not being used. To apply a PTF temporarily, perform an IPL from the A side and then load the PTF. The next step is to apply the PTF. We should specify *temp on the apply parameter. For the system to use the temporarily applied PTF, the system has to be restarted, specifying the IPL source as B. To apply the PTF permanently, ensure that the IPL had performed from the B side and specify *permanent on the apply parameter. To use this permanently applied PTF, the A side should be specified as the IPL source. It is necessary to apply the licensed internal code PTF temporarily before it can be made permanent. You can verify from the history log whether the PTF has been applied successfully or not. The display PTF status command can be used to determine the storage area used for the current IPL. The IPL source field will identify the storage area for the IPL. Let's move on to see how to identify problems on the system and how to analyze and report problems to IBM. Various CL commands such as the work with jobs command, the work with active jobs command, the work with system status command, the work with problems command, and the start copy screen command can be used to determine the source of a problem. Let us first see how to identify problems related to jobs using the work with jobs command. This command displays all the information that the system has about your job and also has options to change the job's attribute and hold, release, or end the job. Option 10 can be used to display the job log. The job log contains a detailed record of the activity of the job, which includes the system messages that the job receives. Alternately, you can also use the display job log command. To display detailed messages, the F10 key can be used from either display. Another method of viewing the job log is to use the F10 key after requesting help for the system message. The job log for a batch job is created when the job is placed on the job queue. If the jobs complete successfully, the job log is deleted from the system, otherwise a spooled file is created. Sometimes you might wish to retain a job log even after a job has completed successfully. For interactive jobs, we can use the value of *list of the log parameter of the sign-off command, which will cause the job log to be spooled to the output queue. You can also use the display job log command and specify *print on the output parameter, provided you know the name of the job. The display job log command can also be used for batch jobs. The work with active jobs command can be used to identify whether a job is having a problem. If a job has a much higher value in the CPU percentage column compared to the other jobs after an elapsed time of more than 1 minute, It could mean that the job has gone into a loop or is logging any errors. You can use option 3 to hold a job that you suspect is having problems and continue analyzing the problem. Once you have identified the problem, you can either use option 4 to end the job or option 6 to release the job. Let us move on to identifying system problems. The work with system status command can be used to display information about the system. The CPU utilization percentage is indicative of the load on the system and is meaningful only if the elapsed time is at least 5 minutes. To display the information over a 5-minute or more time period, enter the work with system status command on any command line and press the enter key as soon as the display appears. After at least 5 minutes have elapsed, enter the command again. The system keeps track of when the command was last entered and calculates the CPU utilization over the elapsed time. If CPU utilization is continuously around 70%, it indicates a heavy load on the system and will affect the response time of the system unless the system has a number of batch jobs running. The jobs in the system is a count of all the jobs in the system, including the jobs waiting on job queues as well as those waiting to be printed on the output queue. This count could become very large if spooled files are not managed properly, and keeping track of the jobs on the output queue also places additional overhead on the system. The percentage of auxiliary storage that is used should also be maintained around 70%. Let us go back to the system operator message queue once again. It often happens that a user is facing problems because of unanswered messages on the system message queues. It is a good practice to always begin analyzing problems by checking the system operator message queue. A star appearing to the left of a message on the system operator system queue indicates that problem analysis can be run for that particular message. To run problem analysis, position the cursor on the message and press F14 to work with problems. This will take us to the work with problems display, which we shall look at later on. Another method to analyze a problem is to use the Go Problem command to access the problem handling menu. Option 2 can be used to view the problems which have been detected on the system. Option 4 can be used to view the system operator message queue, and option 5 can be used to view the history log. Let us look at option 2, which will display the work with problems display. Here you have a list of problems display. Each problem has a 10-character problem ID. The first 5 characters is the Julian date when the problem was recorded, and the next 5 characters is the sequence number of the problem record. The status column can have one of the following values: opened, which indicates that the problem was identified and a record was created for it; ready, which indicates that the problem analysis information has been added to the problem record; prepared indicates that the problem has been prepared for reporting; sent indicates that the problem record was sent to a service provider; answered indicates that an answer was received for the problem report; verified indicates that the problem was resolved; closed indicates that all work related to the problem is complete; No further updates will be allowed on the problem record. We can use option 8 to work with one of the opened problems. Option 4 can be used to delete the old problems as they could take up considerable disk space. The problem log hold interval system value QP RB HL DITV specifies the number of days the job log has to be kept. We can use operational assistant to clean up the problem log. To open a new problem, press the F24 key to view the other valid function keys. Here, we have F14 key that can be used to analyze a new problem. Here, we have to give the description of the problem. Selecting option 8 takes us to the Work with Problems display. We can select option 1 to analyze a problem. We will be taken through a series of displays where the system will ask for answers to questions, or you may be asked to perform certain actions to check for the possible causes of the problem. Finally, the system will either resolve your problem or display a list of possible causes. From the Work with Problem menu, we can use option 2 to report the problem and also send the problem analysis report that has been prepared by the system. If a system failure occurs, a message code will probably be displayed on the control panel. The action to be taken can be determined from the operations manual. Let us look at the history log, which keeps a record of all activity on the system, such as subsystem information, job status, device status, system operator messages. The system records the history information in a message queue, QHST. When this message queue becomes full, the contents are placed in a history log file. The name of the history log file is made up of characters QHST followed by the Julian date when this log was created and a sequence number. When the current log file becomes full, another log file is created. We can view the information in the QHST message queue by using the display log command. We can view the information in the QHST message queue by using the display log command. Running this command causes the contents of the message queue to be written to the log file. The size of the history log file is determined by the system value QHST log size. These log files will remain on the system until they are deleted, and hence these log files should be periodically saved if required and then deleted. The Work with Files command can be used to save and delete history log files. There are many objects on the system, such as history logs, that need to be cleaned up on a regular basis. The operational assistant can be used to perform many of these cleanup operations. Use the Go Assist command and select option 11. This will bring us to the cleanup menu. Here, we can use option 1 to change cleanup options. Here, we can specify a number of parameters, including the time at which cleanup is to be performed every day. Also, set the Allow Automatic Cleanup option to Yes. This will cause the operational assistant to create an output queue named QEZ job log and also change the QP job log printer file to point to that output queue. Pressing the Enter key will take us to the Cleanup Tasks menu. Here, we will have to select option 2 so that the operation assistant will perform the cleanup operations according to the schedule we just specified. Finally, We will look at the copy screen function using which we can follow the activities at another workstation. We use the start copy screen command to start this function. Here, we specify the name of your workstation as well as the name of the workstation whose activities you are going to monitor. The user at the workstation you are monitoring will receive an enquiry message to which he should respond in order to start the copy screen function. Now, you will be able to view a copy of the other workstation display. Your display will always be one screen behind the display being copied. Your keyboard will be locked and you will not be allowed to enter any information. The end copy screen command can be used to end the copy screen function. Since your keyboard is locked, you will have to use the system request key and enter the end copy screen command on the line that appears at the bottom of the display. Summary. In this chapter, we looked at the Program Temporary Fix or PTF. We saw how to order, load and install the PTF. We also looked at different methods that could be used to analyze and solve problems. We also looked at the history log and also saw how the operational assistant can be used to automate cleanup operations. We also looked at the copy screen function.